The greatest single cause of atheism is Christians. Christians who proclaim Jesus by their mouth and then don't live out the call to be like Jesus. You see, God wants us not only to proclaim Him with our words, but also wants us to live like Him, as difficult as it is. I cannot help but think about this episode when we read in the first gospel. This beautiful moment where Jesus on a donkey walks in through this wonderful place of Jerusalem, a place of promise, surrounded by people who love Him, people who threw their cloaks on the floor, people who were worshiping Him in word, but also in some kind of action. But the funny thing is, these very same people who were worshiping Him in word and some immediate action were the same people who cried out, "Crucify Him, crucify Him." They were the same people because, you see, when push came to shove, it was a moment where it wasn't cost effective for them to follow Jesus. It wasn't worth following Jesus. It was worth following Jesus when it was easy to follow Jesus, but it was so difficult to follow Jesus when everyone hated Him. And so they gave up on Him. Now, this is the same with us so often, that we want to follow Jesus, especially when we're surrounded by people. But what about those moments when we are a minority, when everyone persecutes us for believing in Jesus, when people call us bigoted, when people say that we're old-fashioned, when people say that, "Hey, your Jesus, where is your Jesus?" Well, this is the thing we need to do. We need to hold strong. We need to stand strong because it is difficult now. And I can tell you this, it's going to get a lot more difficult. So hold on. Hold on to Jesus. It was never an easy road. Jesus' road was always the road to the cross. But those who stayed with Him were the ones who experienced the resurrection. Those who stayed with Him were the ones who changed the world, one soul at a time. Lord, teach me to be faithful to You, to stand with You through Your suffering, through Your pain, so that I may win the eternal reward of heaven.